morning, Msgr.
Good morning.
I'm Jubilee S. Jesus, PPSD researcher of Marable National High School, and we would like to ask a few questions for our research.
Okay.
This is our first question. Msgr, can you say that EWAL was successful in its advocacy during the previous election?
Well, as you know, in every advocacy, you may have a good start, but not actually. You cannot expect good success if it is just a beginning. Although we have done something, but I could say if I would rate it into 1 to 10, I would give it to 5. Because the success that I've seen during the EWAL is that I'm happy that the candidates were not able to attack or mudslinging, against their co-candidate, and they did not call their co-candidate another party as an opponent, but because after the recollection, they just call each other as co-candidate. That's the one thing that I would give the success. Another thing also that they did in some say in their political during their political campaign, I could not hear that they personally attack their co-candidate. But with regards to vote buying, in some way, somehow frustrated. I'm frustrated because the education that we have, although there's some people really stood for it, but I think 90% of those people, or say voters, really still on the traditional way of voting. That is, let's say, they still rely on money, and in fact, the winners, most of the winners candidate are because of money. So when I said if I rate it into 1 to 10, I give only mga 5. Yeah.
And then, do you still hope that vote buying and vote stealing can still be stopped, Msgr? How?
Well, education is, we need to educate people. Now, I wish that the DepEd also and all school institutions will really, this value would be part in their value formation. And say to stop that, I don't know up to when. But for me, I don't say that I have to stop educating people because of the frustration that I made. But education should be a process, a continuous process. So as we all know that it becomes already a culture that every election means money. So it's hard to destroy this culture. The only thing that could destroy that or can change that way or culture is education. But I know that it will take more time, or it will take a massive education. Unless there are still groups, not only groups from EWAL, I really had the heart to change the culture. And I hope so much of the education, especially in every school. As so far, although value formation is already included in some education or some subjects, but I don't know if in some school they include the value of right to suffrage. Okay.
This is going to be our last question, Msgr.
Okay.
As the parish priest, what recommendations you can give to the people in order to have an honest and fair election?
Well, first, to make value that right of suffrage. That voting is your participation of good governance. Yeah. That people, when they vote, they should think that that it's their dignity as a Filipino citizens, as a voter, that they are actually exercising the rights of suffrage. And when you exercise the right of suffrage, that is your right. And right is part of your being a person, being a citizen. then I'm sure you'll not wait for somebody to give you money. Okay, so my recommendation to the voters is that we should know that to vote is an exercise of their right. And I recommend also to the parents, to the schools, and to the young people that if they want to have a good future and good governance, they must learn to vote wisely, to vote honestly, and to vote fairly, and not to rely on money. I will repeat that to vote is to exercise the right of suffrage, and that is your right.
Thank you, Monsignor, for your valuable time.